Let's not talk about this time. Let's not.
Face.
You stop it.
Hi. Can you hear and see us? How's it going?
Oh my god, you
You're not
look like
muted.
you just had like a laughing attack.
I did. I was laughing a lot.
Okay. I was just checking if it's not
Me
muted
too.
because we do that every time.
Yeah, there's just the lag on
Karma
YouTube.
crystals.
We wait for them to answer.
Okay.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your crystal? Did you
Yeah.
find it?
Are you sitting on my crystals?
No.
Dang it.
Why? Where's my
I
pillow?
don't know what you're talking
The
about.
cushion.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You removed the cushion.
How are you guys today?
Oh, yeah.
My crystal's gone. I bet
This
it's
one?
you.
I don't know what crystal you're talking about.
The hematites? Never mind.
I don't
It's
have
okay.
it.
Happy Friday. Oh, I totally had no idea today was Friday. That's just how I am. Feeling magic in the air today. Dun, 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 dun. It's not that song. That sounded super cheesy, yeah. And I even heard the song in my head. That is Love is in the Air, not magic, but same difference, right?
Love's in the air.
Mhm. Good.
I was
Thank
trying
you
to-
for the demonstration.
Trying to remember.
Flavia has riso solto today, which
How do you translate
yeah,
that?
you
Like,
can translate that.
lose laughter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm laughing about anything. Both of your hair looks great. Thank you.
Thank you. We were both saying that we do not like how our hairs look today, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Things are moving and things like that. Yes. Yay to his soul, right? Hi. So,
That was me.
hi, Josh. So, as you know, today we have Mother Mary, and I was just telling Flavia that she is so low maintenance. You know, she never has like any requests or anything. She's just so soothing and so calm, which is, if I'm being honest with you, the complete opposite of how I feel today. So it's been a very interesting moment, interacting with her. What's wrong with you, Flavia?
I'm laughing at you.
What did I do?
It's the opposite of you today.
Just today.
Just today.
Just today. Yeah. So she doesn't have like anything. I sat down and I meditated with her yesterday because I thought I was doing the channeling yesterday, but then I needed like a 3-hour nap in the afternoon. So we decided doing this today. And then I sat with her again, and she's just so present, right? She's so grounded. And she didn't have anything, in specific that she wanted to talk about. She just wanted to be here with us today and share. So shoot your questions for the next hour, and she's gonna answer as many as she can. I'll tell you a little bit about the meditation that I did with her yesterday. She took me to this place next to a tree, like in the top of a mountain next to a tree. And then I just sat there, and first I was just connecting with her energy and seeing her and receiving blessings from her and things like that. And then she started emerging more like with my essence, and I stopped like seeing or sensing her outside of me. And as she did so, and I allowed her to come through my body and things like that, I started seeing so many elementals around me and so many fairies. And I was like, oh, maybe you had a strong connection with the elementals, right? And with fairies and beings like that. And it felt like, yes, I could feel her answering, inside me. And then all of those little fairies, they would come through the tree, and they would all like jump on my lap and run through my arms and sit on my shoulder. And they have their own language, but I knew I was not speaking English or Portuguese or any language that I speak. But in my mind, it was like a translation of what was going on. And they were all like just talking and having fun and things like that. So maybe this is a meditation that you guys want to do as well. Allow yourself to connect with her energy and see where she takes you. That's what happened for me with the elements and feeling more grounded. So all of the fairies that came for me, they were like forest kind of fairies and very grounding fairies. So that helps, because I'm channeling her today. But maybe you're going to have a different experience. Maybe she's going to show you something different. Maybe you're going to feel or see something different as you connect with her essence within you. So that's the only thing that she kind of suggested that we would talk about before anything else. Just so you can sit in meditation, let her take you, wherever it is. Whenever I do that, I just put some frequency and I listen to some frequency. And the one that I chose for this meditation was the frequency of Venus, like the planet Venus. That is the connection with the divine feminine, right? So that was cool.
Thankful it is today and I can be here live.
Yay!
That's awesome, MC. My darling 12-year-old son really struggles. Oh my god. Really struggles with self-love. He has a lot of
Drink your water first. It's okay. Se acalme. It's just because you need to talk now?
Yeah.
And your throat is like, nope.
Yeah. So again, my darling 12-year-old son really struggles with self-love. He has a lot of self-loathing going on, and I'm wondering if I'm shoving self-love down his throat by always referring to it to help him.
She's saying that he might be interpreting it as such, yes. And the best way for you to act in the situation is to show him what it means and not try to explain it to him. Even if you have to use the words, that I'm doing this for me today because that's what feels loving for me, kind of thing, and show him by example more than trying to quote unquote lecture him. She's saying she understands very well. She had kids herself, so all of them had different aspects that they wanted to alchemize on earth. And as mothers, we are recipients for love, and we are also mirrors for them. And one of the strongest connections we have on earth is with our mothers. So all that you do upon yourself, it reflects in him in one way or another. So just be patient with him as well and keep showing him by example. The dogs are going nuts.
Yeah. Let's get a Patreon question here. From Joff. We have been hearing about the time surrounding the crucifixion from Sarah. Is there anything you'd like to share with us about that time? Your role, your awareness of Yeshua's demonstration, anything you'd like to say?
She's saying that none of that ever felt as a burden for her, such as he never felt as a burden for her. And she's saying, I think that's why none of it ever felt like a burden, because I could never think he was a burden in my life. She's saying that since the day he was born, he brought only joy and wonder and magic to her life and everyone around him. So he had his own wishes, as he just said. She just said that things that he wanted to alchemize, things that he wanted to play with. And she had a lot of awareness regarding the roles that he would perform, because she made that agreement with him before both of them incarnated in that lifetime. And they choose to incarnate again and again together. And their favorite way to do it is as mother and son, or father and son, or daughter, or whatever spectrum that can go. And she's saying that it's been always a joy to be there with him, to be there to watch him not only grow as like a human would say, and as a soul, but also to be present for all the magical things that they wanted to create together. So all of it was also a very important experience for her, to surrender, to understand that even though he would always be and we will always be a part of her, even though he resided inside her for close to 9 months, she didn't have any ownership on him, on the things that he wanted to do, and he was free, and he made sure to remind her of that often. So it was a learning process for her as well, to learn to surrender and to fully accept his own God. The God within him knows what he's doing. So it's part of her own training, we say, with the things that she was raised to feel and to be, and like the tools that she already had. But in any case, she's saying that her experience with that was so diverse. It wasn't just one thing that she felt or she experienced, because there is all of that awareness that you know what's going on, and you know that whatever it is, even though he's bleeding and potentially he could release that body and never truly come back as that, we'll say, that being that she knew as her son, and fully knowing that their connection is forever, and she would feel him, she would be able to talk to him in any case. There is the human factor that you're seeing someone you love more than anything having things happen to them that you would not call loving for you, she's saying. But how could I say that if that was loving for him? And that's his choice. So she's saying that that was also a lesson of surrender for her, and a very important one as well, one that she's very grateful for having the ability to have had with him. My God, my eye is twitching. So if at any point I look crazy like this, just know that that's what's happening.
That's why.
Yes.
Ludmila made it. Hi.
Yay.
I have always felt a strong connection with Mother Mary. Was I connected with her in any way?
She's saying, of course, my love. You have a strong fractal of her. So there is that before anything else. Yeah, that's the strongest way you are connected with her. Are you asking more specifically like about that lifetime? Because it's entirely up to you to open up to whatever, let's say, you were at that moment. So go with your heart.
What is the meaning of relating the energy of Mother Mary with frost, especially in Latin America? Could she expand that topic a bit?
Many times I feel the energy of Mother Maria in the morning. Yes. With frost? I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
What do you mean with frost? I don't think I understand your question, Dita. Help me, please.
Yeah. With frost, you mean like the ice in the morning? Like the...
Wait, yeah.
That's
the
what I
top of the
understood.
mountain. I've never heard of that connection ever. And I am from Latin America, in a place where people really, really love Mother Mary. She's like their favorite, where I'm from.
Even more than Jesus, perhaps.
Yes, like much, much more. The frost, I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
She's saying that she has a strong connection with water in any case. So whatever is a representation of water, she's saying that a lot of people have connected with that, because water is the feminine and she is an embodiment of the Divine Mother in many, many ways. But if you can be more specific about maybe something in specific that you're thinking about with this, like a tale or anything at all, just let me know and I'll try to dig deeper, Indira.
Did Mother Mary have a job in addition to being a mother? what guidance does she have for those of us working while allowing our masculine and feminine energies to flow?
She's saying that, yeah, I think it's totally forgot what I was gonna say. That's what happens when I'm channeling. Anyways, the thing that I just put there, it's first of all spring that is happening in our lives, but the thing that we just put there in the scent thingy. Anyways, she's saying that she was a priestess, and even though she never really took that as a job or being a mom as a job, not in the way that we again which that we think jobs happen, but she had like a very strong connection with herbs. So she was a herbalist. Is that how you call it? Like an alchemist that uses herbs to. I love that I pronounce both ways because I never really know. So that's one thing that she used to do a lot. So she's also a very, very, very strong healer. So she would do a lot of that, like create concoctions for people and go to them and help heal them and things like that. So that's one of the things. So she say, I could, you could say I was a healer. Like ancient healers were healers, not just like Yeshua was a healer, if that makes sense. She was like more into the physical,
like the healer of the
parts.
village.
Yeah, exactly. She's saying that's one of the things. So what guidance does she have for us that are allowing our masculine and feminine energy to flow? She's saying that understanding them as being natural parts of you is very important. They are always communicating, they are always working together, they are always interacting. It's just a matter of how much we are allowing our awareness to be set into those things and how we are choosing to interact with these energies. Because again, you can empower one more than the other. So it's important just for us to remember that it's the most natural part of being alive on Earth. So it's not something that is supposed to be hard to do. So whenever it is that it's becoming hard, it's because there's something in your mind, something in your body, something in your ego, in your inner child, telling you that it's hard. Because those are just energies that are absolutely always, always there. So if it's hard for you to connect with the masculine, for example, there's something in you that is creating the idea that it is supposed to be hard because of something. So because of an interaction that you had in your past, because of a fear that is arising or something like that. Because in truth, she's saying as you are born, both energies are 100% balanced. It's just the constructs that we create with time that end up diverging us from that awareness. So remember that it's natural, it's simple and easy. I think that's her motto for life, to be honest. Life on Earth. It's natural, all of it.
Indira says that that's okay. I don't know either. Maybe the word is brilliantine. I don't know.
I still don't know, Indira.
How can a mother set healthy boundaries for example, honoring her me time or honoring that she doesn't want to do something at the moment, but is still feeling that her child strongly needs her at that moment?
Why do they need you? Is your first inquiry with this. Do you think they need you physically to feed them, to bathe them, to take them somewhere? If that's so, ask for help. Even if it is just of your higher self, is one thing, for example. If you think they need you emotionally, psychologically, what is it in them that is being reflected in you that needs more care now? It's not about what they need, it's about what you need. Because if you can see a need in someone else, there is a part of you that is strongly calling for attention, that needs that thing, whatever that is. And she's saying that's the case with any interaction. But most importantly with kids, because she's saying that's a clear sign that your inner child is asking for something, even if it is a bath, food, water, you know? So make sure to ask yourself, whenever it is that you feel like your child is needing something, maybe they are mirroring something that your inner child is in need of. And it's not about you trying to meet their needs. Because if you think that if anyone or anything is needing you, you're taking away from their power. So that's something that you're saying I had to learn as well. Because sometimes when you meet that need in yourself, they will not feel the need to represent that for you anymore. That interaction doesn't have to occur. So sometimes it's not even about healthy boundaries. It's about you looking at you and wondering, what is it that they are mirroring for me? Instead of trying to create something to block that energy. She is an empath, the most grounded empath that I've ever encountered in my life, in any lifetime. Because for her, she's something that I feel like we should all, like all of us, could learn with that. She is 120% heart open. She will feel exactly what you feel. She will sit with you. If you're grieving, she will sit with you. She will grieve with you. She will cry with you. And she will take none of that as suffering, none of that as participating in your drama or anything like that, because she knows she is you. So she doesn't have any ideas regarding needing not to be you, because she can fully honor herself as the individual that she is while respecting the fact that she believes that she is one with you. So if you are sad, she thinks it's completely fine for her to be sad without taken away from her own power, without feeling that as suffering, because all and every aspect of life on earth is divine through her eyes. So none of it, like if she's crying with you, it doesn't mean that she's suffering, it doesn't mean that her heart is breaking. She's crying with you because she is you. So she is someone that whenever it is that you're feeling sad or you're feeling like you need any support with anything, the strength that she has is so vulnerable and so feminine, in a way that she is 100% present there without taking any of it as a burden, any of it. So whatever that thing is, she will be 100% there. She doesn't care. Again, she saw her own kid being in a freaking cross, right? That's very challenging for anyone, let alone a mother, to be present with and see something like that happen. And she could be there 100% heart open with each and every one of these people without feeling like their anger, which is her anger, was anything but divine. So that doesn't create any imbalance in her. That doesn't create any burden for her. So it doesn't diminish her body in any way. So her body doesn't understand that she is, let's say, absorbing other people's energy and neglecting her own. Do you understand? But there is such mastery in this that she doesn't want us to take that as something, oh, so let's just absorb everything and screw that. No, there is alchemy. There's a lot of masterful practice that went with this for her to be able to just sit with you and be here, and just be here, be you with you, is one thing. She's saying that we need to learn to untangle ourselves from so many constructs that want to just like resonate with someone because we have like a, what is it that people call it, like trauma bonding. She's saying that's absolutely not what it is. She's not sitting with you crying about being a victim. She's sitting with you crying because you're human, and there's nothing wrong with that, and she is too, and she loves that. So again, she is so grounded. It's like a 100% an empath, 100% heart open, but not taking any of it as a means to punish yourself, right? It's like, okay, for example, that's a very common one. I know that there are people in hunger in Africa. And even though maybe I'm not going to starve myself because of that, I will feel what I think is their pain as a means to punish myself here today, as I means to, because I feel like I have more. So if you think that you have or are more than anything or anyone, you're not there. It's not the same energy. So she just wants to explain a little bit what she means. But if you can connect heart to those people and understand 100% that they are God, having the experience that they want to have, and simply feel without any judgment, any judgment, what they feel in your heart, and be present with that, and be able to also understand that you are an individual. That's what it means, that when I say that she is like a most grounded empath that I've ever met. So again, like you're saying, no blaming anyone, no blaming yourself. Just all emotions are divine, all of them. So if we want to feel angry today, we'll feel angry. That's completely fine. There is no name calling, no pointing fingers at all, at all, at all. All of it is allowed. That's how she learned to be like this. She's saying that's the practice. Whatever actual technique you can use to do that, the practice is remembering what you just said. But yeah, she is awesome.
Alana said about her question before, mainly I mean in regards to having a job and using those energies. Does she mean she switched her masculine side on automatically when needing to work?
She's saying she might not be the right person to answer this question, because she didn't feel much of a distinction like that, because again, for her it was so natural. She understood these energies as being just a part of life on earth, like we were just talking about all emotions being valid. Those were parts that were valid, so she could merge them in a way that she didn't have to have that train of thought, but she will answer you, in a different perspective, she's allowing herself to enter in your perspective. And she's saying that, she's smiling and she's saying, yes, we do what needs to be done. There are, and she's asking, do you understand what I say with this? It's not that, again, she's not at all about suffering or judging or anything like that. If you set a goal for yourself, she's saying that's completely fine. You are human. You are not only capable, you are entitled to have your goals, to have the things that you want to have, to create the things that you want to create, whatever those things are. So if you set a goal for you, we do what needs to be done. And we will find joy doing those things. She's saying that's how she would approach it. Because sometimes it's like, okay, there is this part of this job that I don't fully 100% adore. How can I make it joyful now for me then? So I can go through it. Because if I believe that I need to do it, because that's all that it is, you believe you need to do that part of the job. So if I believe that I need to do this now, okay, good, let's accept that. How can I have fun now with this? How can this become joyful in any way? And she's saying sometimes she would just do that singing, because that's made things joyful, and then so forth. Did she answer you now?
That's the first time that I've heard that we all incarnate with the masculine and feminine energies in balance.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
She says. Good. Let's check the patron she's saying first.
I wish to ask, why it is so difficult for me to connect to her. From Elizabeth.
Sometimes I feel like you start reading something and then your mind goes like, wouldn't it be nice
Yeah,
to
it does happen.
together? Eita, I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
I wish to know why it's hard to connect with her.
Yes.
From who?
It's difficult.
From Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying that she offers utter complete 100% acceptance. She doesn't care what you've done, what has been done, quote unquote, upon you, what your life is. She accepts and loves you unconditionally, here and now, exactly as you are, 100%. And it's difficult for you to see that for yourself, because whenever it is that we connect with another being, we allow them to mirror things for us. And she's saying that she has nothing of unloving to say, to add in your experience. So she is a mirror of that acceptance for you. So whenever you're ready to accept yourself fully, you connect with her more. She's saying that that's the case for every single person. It's really hard for anyone to connect with her energy if you can't accept yourself, I'll say. At least we'll say the way that I experience her, and just agreeing with what she's saying, because she's just there and she sees everything. And you know when you're sitting with someone, I don't know if that's ever happened with you guys, and you know that they know you. They can see you, like deeply see you. And that can get even a little scary. It's like, oh my God, wow, I'm seeing now, you know? That's sitting with her. She completely sees every single thing, and she has no time for judgments, is what she's saying. I ain't got time for that.
Next question is, Mother Mary knows what I've been experiencing at work, health, and all the healing and grounding I'm doing. I feel like I need encouragement and clarity in my next steps towards a job that is better fit for me.
She's first like taking a deep breath, and she's showing me that she's sitting with you. She's showing me that she's present with you. And then she's showing me like her energy is merging with your energy in your heart. And she's asking you to visualize that, because she's saying that you can do with more of that acceptance towards yourself and your path right now. She's saying that what causes humans in general, she's saying that not only for yourself, but for you to feel a little ungrounded, is exactly because we are thinking too much about tomorrow or the consequences of the things we're doing now. She's saying it's very common for driven people to live like this. Everything you do today is so we can have something else tomorrow, right? And I completely understand, because I'm like that too. I need to monitor myself. Flava is the same way. Just feeling like throwing you under the bus too, because of yes. So whenever it is that we are like this and we're very driven, every single thing we do, we already have like a plan mapped out for that. And that takes away from the moment, from this moment now. So she's saying that to remain present and to breathe and to be grateful for the little tiny things. Maybe that's all we need sometimes to shift our perspective and to see the other doors opening for us. Because she's not telling you that you need to settle in something that doesn't feel good for you now, we'll say. So if the job that you are now is not great for you, she's not telling you just, sit down and be grateful because other people are not having the same. That's absolutely not what she's saying. I felt like I should disclaimer that. She's saying that being present is really important, because otherwise we are always planning something for tomorrow, and it might not help us as much as we think, because it ends up creating expectations. And with the expectations, whenever it is that we create an expectation, we are limiting ourselves. So God within you, that is 100% creative and wants to flow and to thrive, feels like it's in a cage whenever it is that we set an expectation for anything at all, because everything is possible. And we know that. And we tell ourselves that all the time, she says. It's one thing telling ourselves, and the other thing is fully 100% believing it. So what she means is that she wants us to be present in the moment and to live every day here and now. Not that you can't plan, not that you can't want to thrive, that you need to stop being like a driven person. That's nothing, that's not what she's saying. She means that we allow ourselves to open new doors whenever it is that we are here and now. Otherwise, there are perceptions that might change and shift, and it's not, the future isn't written in stone, is what she's saying. As you say, because the future is and not written at all, because the future doesn't exist. So it's all a web of connection, and how you feel right now dictates what you will be experiencing in the next second. Again, there is a lot with this, and not feeling right, like getting too much into timelines. I feel like we should have a class about timelines. Right?
Can I get more water,
Oh my God.
please?
Such a drinking.
Yeah,
So
I'm
far.
thirsty today. Let's see. The next question. Oops.
Oops.
Oops. Okay. I'm trying to teach my daughter how to have that type of empathy, as well as to a certain extent. Any tips? She is taking on the feelings of others as if they are her own.
She's saying there are two ways to go about this, and whatever serves best, we should go for that first. The first way, she's saying it's her own way, that others are their own and mine. But I don't need to see them wounded or as anything but God. So they do not harm me because I don't give them the option to, these emotions, we say, or feelings or anything. Does that make sense? So she's saying that her way to do it is, I am you. And whatever this energy is that I am, quote unquote, absorbing from you, it's not bad. I'm not going to judge it. It's simply God. So it doesn't harm you in any way, because you're not seeing that other person that is feeling a certain way as wounded. So then it doesn't reflect like that for you. The other way is to set healthy boundaries, to allow yourself to first know your own energy. She's saying this is the first step in any case, if you want or not to get to the point that she experienced things, because it's not needed. It's her own perception, her own wishes of creation as her own individual. But the practical way, one step at a time, to do this is to first know your own energy. So find techniques that can help you. Let's say isolate your own energy. And that doesn't mean isolate yourself. That doesn't mean straying away from oneness, because there is no such thing. But finding ways to just be with yourself and know your energy, know your own emotions. She's saying that's the way that empaths can master their own empathy. It is, I know who I am. I know my own individuality, and I honor it 100%. She's saying the moment that we do so, that we create this bubble for ourselves. Okay, so this is me. And we see something that we don't like. That's the moment when you are going through an awakening, when everything is new for you, for example, that you either want to blame it on someone else, or you do not want to look at it at all, because it's much easier. Because as humans, we've learned throughout time and time again that if something is bad and you created something bad, you should be punished for it. So if you created something, if you understand, okay, I've created every experience in my life, I've created every emotion, everything in me, I've created it. Most people tend to go, at least for a while, through a moment of, oh my God, I suck. Why did I do this to myself? What took me, what drove me to be this sucky ass human? She's saying everyone goes through that, at least for, one single thought, and then you go like, you know what? Not how I want to take this. And some people go deep and deep and deep and go through a really, really deep dark night of a soul, for example, and it's all alchemy. It's all part of the process and all fine as well. We all have different ways to do it. So she's not saying that basically she's gonna do that or that's. She's saying it's our choice. We all choose different things, and she's saying you can even compare your own stories. You see that most of you have gone through one way or another, or different infinite ways of what I'm telling you. But knowing yourself, your energy, and owning it is the key, because then you will understand that the anger that you feel, the sadness that you feel, is not a burden. It's God too, and it's fine. So when you see and feel that in someone else, you don't feel like you are taking up on their burden, so it's diminishing your body, it's making you unhealthy, because it's not, it's just something that you accept. You accept that in you, so you can accept that in other people. So if you are, for example, heart open and you receive someone with grief, it doesn't make you unstable, because you know yourself enough to trust that you can handle it, for example. Does that make sense? Because sometimes I feel like I'm not here, and then when I come back, I'm like, huh? What's happening? But yeah.
I've been working at home over the last year and loving the peace and flexibility of it. Does Mother Mary have any advice for me as I transition back to going to work in the fall? Feels it may be stressful.
She's saying you are stressing over it ahead of time, which causes anxiety and takes you away from the present moments. Live here today, she's saying. Here and now. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the fall. If you trust you right now, if you trust your own creations right now, and you master that, who knows what might happen in the fall? So don't be thinking ahead of time and stressing over it because you think it might be stressful. She's saying you're safe. She's saying that that's a coping mechanism that a lot of women have, because you feel like you need to be ready for anything. And that's a very common, she's saying, for women more than men on earth, because of the whole patriarchal society that we live on, and how it's easier for men, will say, to feel safe than women in a physical way, is what she's saying. But again, she is directing this, talking about this in a very, very human way. So if you don't resonate, it's fine. But most women feel like they need to predict what's going to happen so then they can be prepared. And that causes a lot of imbalances in your body because of that. Stress being one of them. Pain in your hips, in your lower back. Yep, because you feel like you always need to be ready for whatever is going to happen. So because you don't want to be, you want to have the upper hand. For example, one example she's showing me. You're going to work at night in a place that you don't feel safe. So you want to have a pepper spray. You want to create means so you can feel safe to do that. That's the kind of thing she's saying that is engraved in the back of our minds, like for generation after generation. So we need to be very, very loving to ourselves with this. So that's why we have this coping mechanism. Like, we want to be ready for everything because we can't fully trust ourselves, masculine within us, that we are safe, because the masculine within us is that energy that helps us feel safe. In whatever situation is presented to you, you can handle it. Doesn't matter what it is. It's you as God creating a beautiful experience. So again, she just gave you many tools to, or at least ideas, so you can look for your own tools to work with this.
We see you as being so perfect, like Julie said. Could you share with us some of your human imperfections or experiences that were not so perfect, according to the human perspective, of course?
Well, first, she thinks all of you are perfect too. So she is like, yes, I am. And so are you. And she's saying, okay, now she's trying to look at it because again she sees everything as being perfect. Because again, she has zero judgment. So if you don't have any judgment, everything is great, right? Everything is awesome. She's saying you might want to ask Yeshua. I bet he can tell you a few things that I did not do in according to his own perfect definition of perfect. She can't find anything. She is perfect, guys.
Yeah.
Because again, everything that she thinks about, it's perfect for her. For example, give us an example of something that we might not think is perfect about you. Well, not you, but if it was in us, yes. Okay. She's saying, well, I'm going to tell you something, and you're still going to think that I am perfect. But if it was you going through that, you would say you are imperfect. So let's first wonder about that. Because we see her as a perfection, right? What do you want to say, Flavia?
No, I'm just curious. What is it?
No, she doesn't have it. Sometimes she is just like Yeshua. She will walk around and not say anything. You know what it is?
Yeah, like I wanted an example.
Yeah, I'm still asking her for an example. She's saying that she wasn't the most patient.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did you ever lose your mind or things like that?
Yeah, exactly. She said that she wasn't always very patient. One thing. She said that she would, yes, lose her mind with her kids all the time because they challenged her. They challenged her own center sometimes. And the older they got, the more they would challenge her. She's saying it's for you that have small kids, you have kids, she's saying. But it doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. She wanted to make that clear. But she's saying that she would get angry. And she's saying, well, you know Yeshua more than the other kids, so I would get angry at him sometimes because he wanted to do all kinds of crap that would harm his human self. And sometimes he needed someone to tell him, you cannot jump this high without breaking your leg because you're human, and he would just want to go and do those things. So she would yell at him sometimes. What are you?
That's why I only told my mom stuff after years passed.
Yeah, well, thank God your mom didn't get to see you doing that kind of shit, right? But yeah, so she's saying that the thing is that what is perfect? What is perfection? If you see me as perfection, why can't you see yourself? If it is already in your palette of possibilities, the perfection exists, why are not you perfect?
This is what I got. She could get angry, but this doesn't mean her imperfect. Yeah. I'm laughing so. Yeah. Okay, next question.
Oh my God, my eye. Stop it.
You good?
Stop it. Mm-hmm.
Was there a practice she remembers that helped her with patience? I keep losing my temper with my daughter. I feel like she can do things for herself, but I lack there is because I didn't teach it.
She's saying
lack there is.
The first thing is to breathe. Like in that moment, knowing that you do not need to react. Whenever it is that you want to feel more patience, you're saying feeling impatient means that something taught you that you needed to have a quick response. So you do not need to. The first thing is taking a breath and being present. First thing. She's saying sometimes that's all it takes. Now she wants to read the rest of the question. She's saying because sometimes we do not give ourselves the benefit of one breath, and that's all it takes before you just snap at something or someone.
I feel like she can do things for herself, but any lack there is because I didn't teach it.
And she's saying now you are thinking that it's your fault if something quote unquote bad in your own idea happens to her. So it has nothing to do with your daughter. You're losing your temper with yourself. So you need more love. It's a call for more love.
Do you have a message for the Lightworker 613 Collective? Perhaps about acceptance, presence, or love?
She's saying that she's showing me so many things at the same time. She wants to convey like a feeling, and sometimes it's hard to bring it into words. So she's saying that all of us on earth, we have different roles and different things that we want to create within and outside those roles. The roles that you chose within this soul family that I am a part of, and she's talking about the 613 soul family, are all connected to raising awareness in one way or another. That doesn't mean that each and every one of you needs to do the same work that these two are doing, is what she's saying. In your own environments, you are raising the awareness there. But the most important part of this role is allowing ourselves to raise this awareness within, to align ourselves with the truth of what and who we are as one, as individuals, and as humans on earth at this time. All of you have your moments when you receive a lot of what you call activations, so you can share it to other beings, for example. That's a common one that every one of us do have in this collective. And we often say that you work as antennas for these energies. And yes, you do. And you've been learning to practice with this, to create techniques to empower yourself. But as I said, all of us, we have different roles within our own soul family, things that we've been creating since before time was, and things that most importantly we want to create on earth in every timeline. So what I want you to feel today is a sense of oneness and also a sense of wonder with your own role. You stepping into your own role as an activator, as a catalyst, as a light worker does not take away from anyone else's power. When you refuse to take the roles that you chose for yourself, you take away from your power. Nothing can take away from your power but yourself. Only your own perception of it. So I'll tell you that you calling yourself a light worker and feeling proud of it is the way to go. Accept the title as I accept mine. So if you see me as an spectrum of perfection, of mastery, of unconditional love, allow me to be the mirror, not only for that for you. And it just needs.
Bless you.
Thank you. But also a mirror of the goddess that I feel and know I am. That's the difference. Because all of us, we are gods and goddesses. There is no separation. The difference is how we feel and accept it. And you can keep putting yourself down and feeling small because you feel as if others are not ready to feel as tall as you are. And that, my love, is a very judgmental thought. So I want you to step into your role as the gods and goddesses you are, not caring that if you call yourself a master, if you call yourself a god or a goddess, that it might trigger others, that they might not understand what you mean. As a lot of us have been misunderstood, and you know, I don't care if I'm being worshipped as something that I don't feel that I am. I'm still playing my role as I am. Because in my heart, I know I am one with you. In my heart, I feel the perfection of all of us. But if I decide to step down from it, from my own power, and make myself smaller to fit a mold that I judge is someone else's, I am not only disempowering me, I'm disempowering our whole creation. So I don't want you to make yourself small, to fit in old roles anymore. The whole soul family, as you are now, and as we have been called time and again, 613 Collective, we are way showers. And that does not mean that we are more powerful than anyone, that we are stronger, more divine than anyone. It means that that's our role. That's what we chose. What we want to do with it, what we decide to do with it, is entirely up to us. How much you want to accept of it, entirely up to you. No one is going to descend or ascend upon you to tell you what you should or should not do, because you are a god. You are a goddess. The way that you decide to embody it, to express it, to feel it, to complement it within yourself is entirely up to you. I cannot beat that sense into you, and I do not wish to. It's entirely up to you. So you simply need to allow. Understand that believing yourself does not mean love. It means that you can see others as being smaller. And that cannot be further away from the truth. And that's very judgmental. So don't be scared to call yourself a master of the earth game, because you are. And if you don't feel like a master yet, and if you feel like there are things you want to do and accomplish to do so, then it's coming from that sense of purpose within you. Then it is part of your role. Then it is part of your mastery. So go for those things. And that's why you are here now, for example, listening to me as I'm playing a role for you. That's why you feel guided to watch classes and courses. Yes. Again, we all play different roles for each other. And it's not until we can all look upon earth, it doesn't matter what we're seeing, and we can call it all love, that our job is done. Doesn't matter what's happening. That's the point. What?
When the job is done, then what? It's like, do we ever want the job to be done?
She's saying that's the epitome of the human ego talking. Because no job is ever done. But she's speaking your language. But whenever it is that, for example, if we can all, right now, you can look at Earth and you can see love in everything. Everything. You can see peace in everything and grace in everything. In war, in hunger, whatever it is. It's not about what's happening. It's what you feel and sense with it. you can imagine, you're not feeling like anything that isn't love, grace, or joy. In someone is being beaten up because they are bisexual, and you can still see love in them and in the person. Your job with your role as that is done. Does that mean that you stop existing? No, you will find another thing. You will create something else. You will elevate yourself, we'll say, using your words again, she's saying. Elevate yourself to a point in which you can offer more than just that ethereal love, for example. But in truth, the more that you feel like this, the less these things happen in your physical world. The less they happen in your physical world, the less they happen, because you are creating reality as you, not as anyone else. So whenever this part of the job is done, there's always something else, because we are infinite. We will create another galaxy, another universe, another planet. We will create other things. But wanting to always go up a stair, we'll say, for the sake of it, is human insanity. So and also most insane than all is not wanting to get the job done because you feel like you won't have anything to do. Because you're infinite. You just can't see yet. You can see what's here and now. And we know that that's part of the job, we'll say. She's saying, I'm speaking in human language, in what we resonate with most of the collective. But you can see what's beyond that. Because again, it's part of your role right now to be focused on that goal, we'll say. Just saying that's the same as us wanting to create something in our business. And you have that one goal. It is, she's saying, like for us, it is putting that video out there because we believe in it, because we feel like we could reach other people because of this and this and that. Many, many reasons. We can't see what's beyond that because we are not supposed to. But does that mean that your life is over once that video is up? No, you will get another idea, you will get other responses, and things just keep flowing. That's what she means with that. So if ego tells you that, first of all, oh my God, there's always a job, so that's boring. Or I'm not going to finish the job because then what? That's you believing yourself, as she was talking about. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Did she answer you?
Yeah. Okay. It was all this question, right?
Yeah. It was the message for everyone.
Yeah. I feel the energy of Mother Mary in the morning, like I said, something that she would like. Is there something that she would like to share with me? I think about her very much. I will sit with her in meditation as well, heart to heart.
Yeah, she's excited to do that with you, and she's saying that yes, she is always there with you. She's been with you since the day you were born, and well, way, way before that, of course. But she's talking about, I'd say, this embodiment of you. And she is one that has always, always, always been there. She's saying, she's showing me that she has that energy as I used to see Yeshua, like my guardian angel. She is that one for you. Like, it's always, always there. She says that it's, she's with you the whole day, but you sense her more in the morning because that's when you are feeling the most peaceful. She'll love to do the meditation with you. She's saying that she wants to take you to the temple in Aksat. I don't know what that means, but I bet you will get some answers.
Does Mother Mary have a wild side? I just saw her as like Mary Streep in Mamma Mia, dancing on top of the table, you know?
Yes. Well, she's saying, well, depends on what wild means to you. Really depends. Because, again, what does that
mean to her?
To her?
Yeah.
She's so neutral about everything that it's I am prying it out of her. You know, it's like, come on, give me something. It's like channeling the angelics even. It's like completely chill 100%. I'm gonna ask Yeshua. He's my human link anyway. He's saying, "Oh yeah,
I mean,
she's the voice of the party," is what she's saying. What he's saying. So answering you more human way. So thank you, Yeshua. She's the one that is going to start singing and making everyone dance. She has the loudest voice in the room. I was not expecting that. Yeah.
she seems like the kind of, one glass of wine kind of person that goes like,
Yes, exactly.
all the
Like I
children,
just need a woo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
dancing with her skirt.
Why are you being like this? Shut up. Let's not start with this.
Since childhood, I felt connection to Mother Mary. I want to say Mary Magdalene
too.
every time.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, and there were signs throughout my life, but I only realized this later in life. What is my connection to her?
She's a very strong spirit guide for you. She's always there. Very, very connected. She loves you, she's saying.
The other day, I was feeling so mad and frustrated, even hurt with situations at work, and then I had an aha moment. I can only control my reaction, and felt empowered. That's how I soothe myself. I can control how I feel about how I react. I felt wise.
Yes.
Yes.
Very true. She wants you to look Patreon. We didn't answer one from Dawn yet.
Let's check.
Let me see. She's gonna choose. How many children did you have? She's showing me 7, 8, because one died young. That's one timeline. How was Yeshua's relationship with the other children? Oh, we can't. She's like, oh my god. Each one was different because all of them were so different from each other. So he was closer with some of them than with others and things like that. She doesn't want to get too deep with this now. What was his personality like? She's saying that all those questions are about Yeshua and she doesn't want to answer anything about Yeshua. But she will answer about his personality. She's saying that he was always very headstrong, even as a child, very entitled of his own personality and his own opinions, and very focused, very driven. He loved to learn, she's saying. Since he was a tiny little baby, he loved to learn. He's saying that that's a trait of someone that really, really loves Earth and love that they are here. It's like, yes, we're doing this. So she's saying that he was a student his whole life. Always something new. He spoke many, many languages because he would always want to learn something new. So he was very, very driven, very headstrong, very stubborn, she's saying. Very, very stubborn. And no one could convince him of doing anything but Mary Magdalene. So there's that. But he also has the biggest heart on earth and was always so grounded, never felt, even as a child, even before he started truly like learning the things about himself, never felt like he was better than anyone, that he deserved more than anyone. So he was always very grounded, very down to earth, very, very loving, very kind, very, what is the word? Carinhoso?
Caring? Like,
no.
Loving, cuddly?
Yeah. What is the word
there's
for
no, There's
that?
no word. Like,
oh my
for
god.
cariños.
That's
There's
so
no
weird.
cariño.
Maybe that's why, like, we are more, what is the word?
Carinhosa?
Yeah. Anyways, like, he loved to cuddle and to show his affectionate. That's a good, not
a good
perfect,
one. Yeah.
but good one. very affectionate, very heart open, and very, very funny as well. He would always be the one that wanted to make everyone laugh, even though sometimes they would just laugh of pity and not actual, but ended up being humorous anyways. And she's also saying that he had zero shame of anything and everything you can think of. So you could never make him embarrass him in any way.
Julie said
I read it in your mind. I read it through your own eyes, Julie, because that's not creepy at all.
At all.
But yeah, that's all she's gonna share of Yeshua. She's saying that you get to talk to him all the time, not me.
What can Mother Mary tell us about her experience with Sarah and Myr?
Oh, how different they are. That's the first thing she said. What? You said something.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
You made a sound. Okay, yeah. That's a great way to laugh. Why did you do that? You're so weird.
Stop it.
You moved your mouth. Okay, so she's saying they are very different. So she has very different experience with both of them. Sarah was always tender, sometimes so tender that she needed to work with that because it was very overwhelming for her. And she was so sensitive, or is what she's saying, Sarah. And again, very cuddly, very curious. And she's saying that trait both of them share. Both of them are very curious. But Sarah was more like calm is the word that she's using. And Myr, since the day she was born, she was an incarnation of fire on earth. And everything with her was to the extreme. There was no, like, the water isn't simmering with her. It's either boiling or it's frozen. There is no in between for her. So that's how she interacted with everybody. It's either 100% or zero. There is no, like, I'm here. But she has, or had, was saying that embodiments, very good relationships with both of them, with all the children, actually. She's saying all of them, they all deeply loved and respect her. And both of them learned and taught her so many things. And she could see not only their own essence in both of them, their differences, but she could also see so much of herself in Sarah, for example, and in Myr, depending on the situation, so much of the merging of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And she's saying that they were both so powerful that many, many times she was one that helped them ground their energy and their understanding of their own roles, is what she's saying. So that's a role that she played for them many times. Like that advisor, for example, when things are going to hell and you have no idea what to do with your emotions, for example, and things like that. She's saying that they knew that I was there for them to help calm the waters down, because in both of them, they were very heart open. So sometimes they needed like a cooling down to breathe in different ways. So she's showing me that it's kind of funny because Sarah is coming to her like bawling her eyes out and just like, oh my God, like, for example, Myr hates me and things like that, just crying and has no control over her emotions like this. And Myr wants to destroy their little hut, and she's just raging, like you can see fire coming out of her, and she just wants to break everything, that kind of, that she would go to those peaks. So they would have different things, but they are so similar in some other ways that they didn't like to see, because they are so different and they thrive in being different. but their core is the same, which is a huge heart. Huge heart.
How are you feeling?
I am getting tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
Let's do like 10 more minutes.
Okay. Does she want to choose the question?
Yes.
Let me just see where we stopped.
My body's like, I'll sleep here.
Okay, here's the last question we read. Do you want to scroll?
Mm-hmm.
This alien only has one nostril.
He has
Imagine, like,
deviated septum.
This doesn't exist. Just like
It does. There is like a tiny little thing. Stop being crazy.
no, one nostril.
No. Put your glasses on. I would like to ask about the fear of being misinterpreted. She's saying that that's a practice, because in truth, how others take what you say is entirely their business, not yours. And if you are, so that's her, will say, advice. Speak from your heart, from your soul. But how people will take it, it's not your business, because you can never control it. Absolutely. So it's about releasing the idea that you could ever control what other people are going to think. And I was talking to Flavia about this today, actually. Like, whenever I can find my own center and stillness, it's so easy. It's like, I don't care. I don't care if you don't understand, what I mean, because I can't change who you are and I don't want to. And it's not my point to make you understand me in a way that is beneficial for me, Otherwise, I'm going to do only that of my life and nothing else. If I'm always trying to make people understand what I mean from my heart. And it happens very often as we do this kind of work, right? Because, like you guys, you only get to see us mostly just like this, right? You don't have any other reference of us unless you've been with us. But in any case, even with people that you are, all the time with, they might misunderstand you. And it's not your point to try to make them understand you in a way that is beneficial for you, because that's their thing, So as I was saying, sometimes I can just let that go and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm not going to try to explain myself. But sometimes it rings a little deeper and you're like, oh, but that's so against what I'm here to do that you are understanding, that I really want to explain myself. But that's something that I've been practicing letting go, because I don't own anyone else's opinion of me or anything else. And I can't care, because how am I going to live my life if I'm always worried about there are 26 people here that you aren't understanding what I mean from my heart? I can only speak from my heart. But how you interpret it is entirely up to how you were raised, what's going on in your mind, what things you have within you that you might have not had dealt with, or whatever might be the case. So if I at least know that I'm speaking from my heart and that I'm not speaking with hatred or whatever might be related to that, then I can have peace, that at least I've done the best I could do. And it's not up to me what other people are going to think of me, I thought you were going to say something, because sometimes you do like,
like, okay. I guess because sometimes I talk in my head.
Yeah, we would love for you to
it's like
speak it out.
The thing again, like people see the world through the lenses of the love they feel for themselves.
Yeah.
So that's how they will interpret you.
And that's what I love that you said that, because that's the thing that brings me back into peace. Because if someone misunderstood something that I said and it's not in alignment with love, how I see love, Maybe it's because they can't see that love in themselves, and I can have compassion for that. I can accept that, and send them more love, because that's a call for love. I'm reading questions, sorry. I'm not just being weird. Never. When I call on you to be with me and guide me as I experience the challenges of motherhood, what technique will allow me to connect with you instantly? She's saying your heart first, and then your mind, because you simply need to believe that I am you. There is no distinction. And then she said very sweetly, very loving, if it was Lilith, it would feel like a punch, but with her, it is a caress. She said, when will you accept it? What message would she give to women who are hoping to have children, but still didn't? She's saying that trust is the message, because those agreements are made way, way before we are born. And so just trust your connection with these beings, with yourself, and with your purpose. Yep, The Secret of Life. She talked about that. She's awesome. What are you laughing at?
If I ask her how you were related during this lifetime, is she going to tell me that? Or will I figure out by myself like Yeshua did?
Yep, you'll figure it out by yourself. You know it. Yeah, David, she's a very, very powerful guide for you as well. I'm seeing her playing with you when you were little. And she's saying that you can talk to her about anything and everything. She would never, ever judge you, such as she's always known you. She will never judge you. So she wants you to open up to her. She wants to offer that for others as well, if you might want. Whenever it is that you're feeling like you don't have anyone to communicate with, you can just talk to her. Even if you just write her a letter, for example, know that she's there every step of the way, even if you can see or hear her. I would like to ask about fully stepping into our God or goddess role without making others feel small. She's saying that again, if others feel small, it's none of your business. That's all. You are not making them feel small. If they feel small, that's more love that they need. But you taking away from you fully stepping into your goddess self is not helping anyone. It's not helping empower them. It's only disempowering you, and then showing them that that's a lack of power as well, so then they can feel smaller. Does that make sense? It's not a hierarchy, because being a god is what we all are. So you just need to accept that for yourself and stop creating the idea that there is a hierarchy, or that if you step into your God self, anyone else is going to think they are inferior to you. That's you judging them. She's saying, can you understand that? If you think that you being powerful is going to disempower someone else, you belittle them. It's like you're putting them in a place like, oh, look at them. They can see that they are God too. That's not the point. So there is a thin line between balancing this and understanding this for you as a human, she's saying. But in any case, if you can even have the perception that if you step into your power and you say, I am a goddess, I am a master, I am an avatar right now on earth, as I am, exactly as I am. If you can perceive anyone else as being smaller than you, it's because you're judging them as smaller than you. And that's a very deep engraved belief that must change. So we can start changing that by changing how we see ourselves. Not as smaller than Yeshua or me or any other so-called master, because we are all one. You accepting your divinity cannot take away from anyone else's divinity, because it's not a bargain. It's not a piece of paper that you will rip one part and give a smaller part to someone else. It's in the air you breathe. It's in every cell of your body. It's in every molecule of every single living creature and not. She's showing me the microphone here that is in front of me here. She's saying, this is made of the same love as you are. Can you stop it? Like this crystal. Why would you say that this crystal is not as God as you are? Why would you say that the horse is not as much as God as you are? Or the dog, or the bee, or the light? When did you start believing? When did you start allowing yourself to learn this? There's a mic drop. Woo! That would be funny. So she's saying that that's a very old construct that we are all working towards banishing from existence, right? It's part of the job. But you can only see others as God if you see yourself as God. Because, like what Flavia says, you can only see the world through your own lenses of love. So you can only accept the love you feel for you. She's saying that's the answer to every single question you can ever have. Why are your relationships unbalanced? Because you can only accept the love you give to you. If you give yourself unconditional love, you will never get into a relationship that is not unconditionally loving. Because something, someone, some circumstance as God, part of you, is going to come and not let that happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the circumstances, for example, that didn't allow you to, will say, have a relationship with someone, marry someone, end up with someone, as you say, those are all blessings from God within you to show you that you need more love for yourself. You come first. Otherwise, you will always see through that lens of the small, little, tiny human that you were thought to believe you were. And that's not the point. We need to find the power within us so we can raise the power within others. She's saying, I'll repeat that, my loves. You need to find your power so you can raise the power within others. If you can never find your own power, you will never inspire others to find their own. You will always be a mirror of smallness. Because that's all you need. You allow yourself to see in the world, to experience in the world. And that's the only thing that is being mirrored back to you. So that's your own perception. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a huge paradox. Because you are, as a human, you have so much to explore, and you choose only tiny little pieces of it because you're afraid. Why? What are you scared of? Think for yourself, not through things that you've learned through your families, through your friends, through your churches, or any other source outside of your heart. What could you ever be afraid of? You are infinite, you are divine, You are love. Next time you wonder about, should I do this or not? Ask yourself, what can I possibly be afraid of? If I am God. So again, every time that we are not allowing ourselves to be the full-on God that we are, we're not seeing truthfully. And then everything else is just a reflection of that. Nothing can be harmful to God. Nothing can harm God. If you think that something can harm you, you are seeing yourself as a victim. And you are not a victim. It doesn't matter. In the other example that she gave, a bisexual person being beaten because of that. They are not a victim. And it's not until we can look at that and see that as such that it will stop existing. No one is a victim of any situation. Everyone is God equally. Suffering is a choice. You can keep choosing that again and again and again. And it's perfectly fine because you are God choosing it again and again and again. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to damn you. You are the God of your creation. And in this particular moment, right now, you can 100% choose. Do I want to create through suffering, believing in patterns of disempowerment or victimhood? Or do I want to choose love, to choose joy, to choose to take my next breath thinking, I will be joyful now, whatever it takes? If that is not talking to someone that is always talking about drama, if it is not eating something that you know is not good for you, if it is right now, my joy is eating that something that is not good for me, if it is taking a bath, if it is taking a walk, if it is hugging my dog, think about it in this moment, not tomorrow, not yesterday, not 1 second before or after this. What is my joy right now? That's how you change this paradigm of victimhood. Doesn't matter, she's saying. If I come here and talk to you 1,000 times, if you are not heart open to receive, if you can't feel the love that I am because you can't love yourself as I love you, it's entirely okay. It's your choice. No one is going to judge you for it. But is it what you want? Is it why you are here? Wonder, question, and stop using, what is this? Conspiracy theory words pre-written by others to justify you not feeling empowered now. No. That was a mic drop. Sometimes it's, wow, too much even for me. Because I come back and I hear what she just said, and I saw her saying it. And she's so regal at the same time. She's so down to earth. You know? It's a queen, totally, saying these things. Anything else? Just saying, I think that was good enough. I don't even know what it was that took me out of the trance, exactly what she said last. I'll have to
The
watch it back if anyone
conspiracy
can. No, I don't know. It was something like the last thing that she said. It took me out and I can't remember it. Why is it like this? Anyways, I think we're gonna end with this mic drop, guys. Thank you very much for being here. She is awesome, isn't she? We should
Yeah.
channel her more often. We will make this public for everyone on YouTube as soon as we end this.
Yeah.
We already had talked about that. She wanted everyone to have access, and now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to help you justify you being disempowered. I got it now. Exactly. Good. Thank you, Julie.
All right. So see you on Sunday for the channeling of Sarah.
Yes.
There's still time to sign up. If you want to go to our website under offerings, and there's the book, and then you can subscribe and participate on this Sunday's channeling.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be a very cool one because now we are walking into more uncharted territory that for now until the crucifixion it's been like a lot of things that many people have channeled or many people have even talked about in many different ways, but now they are starting to journey to other places. So they will start, she will talk about when they left their country and went to France. Did not call it France, of course. I forgot how they called it, but in any case she will tell about the story of getting there and the travel, to get there and how they were received, where they went first, and a lot of that story, from when Sarah was 3 until she was around 7, I feel like, is what we're gonna get on Sunday. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we just published new mugs, guys, with water charging templates.
Those are not the ones.
No, yeah, but they are
Yeah.
water charging ones.
And affirmations.
We have, yes, we have 3 already up, and we would love to know which ones you would like for us to create for you as well, so you can charge your water. Yes, Gull was friends, exactly. And yeah, we'll see you guys Sunday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.